Welcome to our July meeting. My name's Doug Brinks. I am the current president of this organization. I welcome everybody here. Do we have any new members here today? I see a few new people. Emily, you're here. You're one. Can you tell us about yourself? Are you new to the area? All right. Well, good. Glad to have you here. And you're also new? Cool. All right. Any other new people here that, yeah, another person over here? All right. And new and back here? Okay. Cool. Yeah. Tom probably invited you. Is that everybody? We have any other new people here? Well, welcome everybody. I'm glad to see we have you here. I'm glad you're here with us. Right now, we have our dues. Our dues are normally $35 for the year of 2022, and they're prorated at $20 for the rest of the year because they'll be due again in January. So if you're new and you want to join, it's $20 to get you into membership the rest of the year. Some of the things that are included with our membership is our supplies out back. You can buy them at a discount. There's some stuff out there that's pretty reasonably priced. We have some items that have been donated to the Guild from the Larry Trust Fund that are out there that are reasonably priced, and so it's a great place to pick up stuff. We have raffle table. We have coffee and donuts. We have a library up back. You passed it on your way in. Where we keep all of our lays and stuff, and we have a library up there full of DVDs and books that can be checked out. We also have a sharpening station there, a Wolverine sharpening station. So if you're new to wood turning and don't have all that yet, you can bring your tools down here on our meeting, and somebody would be happy to help you sharpen them, show you how all that works, and get you set up for another month of turning and dulling your tools back out. We also have mentors. We have a mentorship program here with the Guild. If somebody is struggling with something in particular, or just a beginner and you need a little bit of help, you can get a hold of one of our mentors. They're listed in our newsletter. We're scattered all around town. I'm one of them. I'm south of town. Ron's one. He's north of town. Jeff's over kind of northeast of town. So we have mentors that are all around the city. And we'll find you one that's near your area, and you can go and work with them for a couple hours at their shop. And that's just something that we like to do. We like to show people and encourage people on wood turning and help them get through some of their areas they might be having roadblocks on. So that's some of the benefits for becoming a member of our Guild. If you want to be a member, Steve in the back is our membership person. He's standing there because we won't let him sit down. He always has to stand. So if you want to join up or renew your dues, you can see Steve. We have a link that we send out to everybody we have an email to. So what I'll do is I'll find that link this afternoon. I'll make sure it's good, and we'll send that out tomorrow to anybody who wanted to pay and didn't have a cash. We don't have our credit card working today. We keep stumbling on that. So next month we're going to have that thing working. So, but once again, that's not working, but we do things on trust. So if you want to get something back there and you don't have the cash and we can't do our credit card, we can just write your name down and you can go to our site and pay for it later. By the way of a donation, we have a donation link and we have membership links working. So moving on down the list, we have a Nova lathe. It's sitting in the room back there. It's a nice Nova 1622-44. It's got the outboard rigger on it. It's got the updated DVR motor. It has the original motor still sitting there. So This was donated to us by the Larry Trust estate, and we are going to auction that off today after the break. So anybody who wants to go back and take a look at it, you can turn it on, check it out, see everything that's there with it. I think it has a faceplate, but no chuck. I don't know if it has a live center, but what's there is there. So take a look at it, and if you're interested in it, we're going to auction that off after the break today. Right, it's got the DVR on it, and it's got the original motor in the box. So you get 2 motors with that. Tom? Yeah, with the outrigger and all that. Yeah. So, and it looks like it's in fairly good shape. It doesn't look like my lathe. It looks like it's been cared for and not used a whole lot. So, yeah, so we'll be auctioning that off after the break and before the demonstration. Okay, so today's demonstration is going to be Bruce Dannenhauer. He's going to turn a natural edge bull. So then Bruce is over here on the side. Yeah, so he's our demonstration lined up today. We thank him. We had a slight change up in our lineup after the last month, but he has filled the spot. And then next month, John Behrens is going to do a box with a threaded lead. I haven't seen him at our meetings lately, but he assured me he's going to be here next month for that demonstration. So yeah, he's going to do a small box with a threaded lid. So that'll be a good demonstration to see too. Let's see, we are still looking, we have a room up here, we have 8 lathes up in the side room up here, and we're looking to get some classes going, like, I don't care whenever somebody can work it out, but we're looking for somebody to spearhead this, to say, hey, the week after this meeting, or maybe 2 weeks after that, we're gonna have a little class up there on turning something, whatever the person wants to turn, open that up to the guild. We're looking for somebody to spearhead that. I think that once somebody says, yes, they'll do that, everybody will fall in line. Dave says he'll do it. Okay, so maybe next month we'll have something lined up for next week, or do you want to already do it for next week? Okay, because we're probably going to need a sign up, because we only have 8 lathes over there, or 7 lathes, I don't remember what we have, but we're going to need a sign up sheet. And so next month we're going to get that rolling. And then what we'll do is we'll probably on the next meeting in August, we'll announce what it is, and then we'll probably ask if we can get some other mentors to come and help Dave do that, because you kind of have your hands full, one person trying to teach 8 people, but if you had 3 or 4 mentors, it makes it a lot easier to run a class. So we'll be looking for that next month. Yeah. And Bruce is already laughing, but you just did a class by yourself with 4. Okay, well, that's 1 to 4, so I think we can get. So, but if we can get 3 mentors in there, that'll be good, I think. So that'll all fall in place. Let's see, for show and tell, which we'll be doing here really quickly. If you participate in show and tell, you'll get a ticket for the raffle table that you can put in any one of the bags there. Tom's going to come up and correct me or something, or you're the guy. So Tom, whoever participates in show and tell, Tom's going to give them a raffle ticket. If you are online and you participate in show and tell, we're going to write your name down on one of the tickets, and we're going to drop it into the raffle bag for the Woodcraft $10 gift certificate. So online too, you will be entered into something on the raffle table, the $10 one, and we will draw that is immediately at the end of the demonstration, so that person online knows they won that if they win that. So that's everything with show and tell. Is there something else here with our business that I may have missed that we need to cover? No? Okay, well then we're going to move right into show and tell. So if you can come around outside here towards the table, and then we'll file over here and put our item on the turntable here. That should work well. Let me get this mic kind of in place. So does this turn on? Does it work?
Dave Bungie has raised his hand.
I was trying to get on the slow speed. Okay, let me grab my piece and I'll get it going.
For the people online, if you want to participate in the show and tell, click on the reactions button near the bottom of your screen and then raise your hand. And that'll let us know that you want to show something at show and tell.
Okay, hopefully everybody online heard that. I heard Dave saying that. Hit your reaction screen and use that to raise your hand so Dave knows online who wants to do show and tell. Okay, so can you hit, I'm going to turn this up. I'm going to use this mic. Can you a little bit? Check 1, 2, check 1, 2. Okay,
Cool.
my name's Doug Brinks, and here's my show and tell. When you come up here to do show and tell, make sure you speak up. Shh. All right. If you, when you come up to do show and tell, please speak up so that people online can hear you. They're picking it up through this. So, and state your name so we all know who you are. So, just at the beginning of the pandemic, we had Ron Gallegos come and do a demonstration for us on his microwave stuff. He turns thin turnings, then he microwaves them and they warp. And this was my my piece I made after he showed that, after he had that demonstration with us. So it's a piece of maple that was kind of spalted. Huh? I mean, yeah, black walnut, not maple. It was black walnut that I found from a pile. I didn't have anything green, but I turned it and it still warped nicely. I think we need to leave the backlights on. People will be back in tripping. There you go. So that's my piece for show and tell. All right, next up. Thank you.
My piece is open and closed segment and a log. It's maple and mahogany, and when the spot comes around, you can see where the maple actually blended into the mahogany.
Way cool. What's the finish?
Finish is wipe on poly. It's a terrible time trying to get it in all those little holes.
You use a Q-tip?
I did. Commercial ones where they're longer.
Nice, right?
So my name is Stan Moberg. I mostly do segmented bowls. The only solid bowls I've ever done is 2 because I have 1 pieces of wood here. So I was kind of excited today to learn that you're going to learn about turning live edge bowls. So anyway, if anybody could help me with telling me what the wood is, I'd appreciate it. Because I forgot, but the finish is just myelin, friction polish, and sanding sealer. Okay.
My name is Jim Van Til, and I didn't know we were doing just one piece, so I'll just do the one piece thing here.
You do more. You can do only one.
Oh, okay. Well, you've probably all done stuff like that, and if you've done it green, you get nice bends to it and so forth and so on. And I just call it a flower. My wife raises air plants, so she has several of these sitting throughout the house with air plants. Now, this is what I came to show, though. When the top blows off, you can turn it into a turtle. This one's got a little story behind it too, because I got this piece of wood here. I think you called it a veneer log. Yeah, I got a veneer log. So that was started out as a hollow form, but then things got away from me, so I put a lid on it. But anyway, there's a little wingay thing. I do quite a few of these things and try to make them as tight as possible. And so anyway, there we go.
Great. All right.
That's why I was interested in getting a veneer log here. It was already checked, so I cut around the check and worked with what was left. So, but you're right, cedar has its.
My name is Bob Mulder, and a couple of meetings ago, there was somebody here that started his presentation out by saying, you know, I don't really want to present anything unless it has a story behind it. And so this piece here, I heat with wood, and I had a couple of box elder trees in my yard that I wanted to absolutely get rid of because they just take everything over. I consider it junk wood. So I cut it up and burned a lot of it, and I had a couple pieces laying around, and I thought, what the heck, why not try to turn this stuff? And it turns out to be some of the nicest wood to turn. It's got really nice crossfire in it, and it was very stable. I thought the thing was gonna crack.
We can't hear you.
And it ended up not cracking at all, and really turned out quite nice. And then if you've got, this is kind of my first attempt at a segmented bowl, and I just had, if you want to use up scrap, this is the greatest way to use up scrap. The thing is you're going to have more time invested in gluing it up than you are turning. But the beauty of the turning is that it's so consistent that you don't run into hard spots and all that. It's just almost like turning like butter. And so anyway, that's my first attempt at that, and it was a lot of fun.
My name is Terry Leafers. This is a piece of apple I turned a couple of years ago, green. And normally when I turn green wood, I always put it in a bag, let it dry over a few months, and turn it thicker. This time I thought, well, why not just, and I saw somebody else do that, turn it thin, let it dry naturally, let it get warped and lumpy. And because it had some nice grain features to it, I did that, and I like the way it turned out. Warped and lumpy.
All right. That's sweet.
I'm Ron Campbell. Two of these pieces, these two right here are orphans. After the retreat, many of the students can't take these home. They're too fragile, so they get left behind. And I decided I'd play with them. I've got several. And then after I posted this one, Greg Gallegos called me and says, hey, we need to talk. So I did post it as a collaboration piece, and I gave him credit for turning this piece. So he shows up with 12 more of these, okay? So for the last week, this is all I've worked on. I've got 10 of these in work. I don't know, can you see the domes here? Those are some special cutters. Michael Keys started using these. Michael does a lot of dry brush painting, and these actually are made for the jewelry industry. So it's a cup, and it is a cup. You push as hard as you can using your Fordham. And you can't have a smoke detector on, and you really need to do it with plenty of ventilation because it burns, and I mean seriously burns. But it's a fun tool to use. It comes in about 8 different sizes. These are fragile. Thank you.
I'm Todd Sipple. I'm new to this in January. I had done some turning in the past, but not a lot. So this is my second attempt at a hollow form after going out to Doug's. My first one ended up as a funnel. And then a funnel again after I glue another piece onto it and all that. So, so that's that. And then my wife was like, that would look really good at your mom or your sister's house. So I took the hint that a lot of the stuff I'm gonna make's not staying home. So I decided to try to see if I could just practice hollow turning with a birds little birdhouse. So I'll probably make a bunch of these. At least I can hang them outside and keep them around to see if I progress. What? Oh, sorry. So.
Well, my name is George Armstrong, in case anybody needs to know. Oh, okay. My name.
You don't need to get that close.
Oh, okay. My name is George Armstrong, in case anybody needs to know. And what I did is, a couple of months ago, I turned one of these at the Kalamazoo Club, and I took it home and put it on the Rose engine and decorated it. It turns a fairly plain piece into a really nice piece.
We can't hear him at all.
I'm sorry.
It takes about 5 minutes to do it.
Hmm.
It doesn't take long at all. And I got some other ones here that I've done, and you guys can take a look at. What? Right, it's a piece of resin, and what happens is it gives it kind of a frosty look where you cut the design. And you can buff it out, but I just left it, gives it a nice contrast.
That's cool.
You can look at the rest of them, or over there, or you can pass them around and look at them. By the way, that cut that he was talking about, Ron was talking about, that can also be done on the Rose engine. It's called a barley corn. And you can do it without getting the burning.
There we go. My name is Peter Keith. This is a natural edge bowl that a friend of mine lost a big maple tree along the lake. And so I went over and negotiated access to a whole bunch of wood for the trade of one bowl. So she got one that kind of looked like that. I did the same as the gentleman talked about, with the apple talked about, is I just let this dry. So I cut it once, let it dry, and then sanded a few of the rough spots out and left it alone. And that's one of Doug's lacquer attempts. So that's lacquered with satin lacquer. This is a ball that kind of goes in there. And we did this last week at Kalamazoo with Dave Curley. And so if he's going to do that for one of your hands-on things, it's a lot of fun and it's fast and easy. And that's a ambrosia maple ball, I think. So, thank you.
Hi, my name is Carol Moberg, and up until, probably after the first of the year, before that, I was always trying to do some segment bowls. And I thought, well, I'm going to try some charcuterie board with resin and wood. So this is one that I did. It's cherry, but there's a lot of wormholes in this and the resin.
I'm not going to put this on the turntable because the interesting part of this, this is a piece that I did, and there we go. Sorry. Okay. There you go. And let's see. You need to see this portion right there. Yeah, it's really it was an interesting piece, and once I got it turned, I could see there was a huge crack. difference in the grain is phenomenal, I think. I put black, you just use black epoxy, put it back together, and still can't see it? What do you want me to do? Okay, yeah, there you go, if I can just hold the damn thing still. No, it was obviously destined for the burning pile. But I think it turned out pretty good, because as soon as I saw all the spalting, and then the black epoxy seemed to work out pretty well. So anyhow, kind of a fun piece, more for grain than for artistic.
Hi, I'm Joshua, and I brought some more of these multi-axis spindles. These are sort of like what I brought back in March. The new part is that I realized it doesn't have to be round to begin with. So I've done some where I started with a triangle shape that I cut on a table saw, and some where it's just a square as it comes in a spindle blank. And so the next thing I need to do, I think, is so I don't have a good way yet of sanding these sloping faces, but I learned this one thing at the retreat where I can burn this wood. So most of these are cedar from Menards, and you can chart the surface, and it will turn black, and it will really bring out the green. It's called Shosugiban. It's one of the off-lathe classes I took at the retreat. So that's what I'm trying next with these. You can put those in a circle, twist them on the top, and look like stone egg. Yes.
Hello, my name's Bruce Dannenhauer, and I'm a wood turner. How long have you been turning? Yeah. Too long. This is a piece of ash that is a commission, and so if you handle it, you're welcome to handle it, but don't drop it. I have to deliver it tomorrow. But I think what's going on with the grain is just so fascinating that it's worth sharing. And this is a piece of mystery wood. I have no idea what it is. I helped a fellow move a lathe out of Chicago. The guy was closing his shop up, and he had piles of exotic woods. I mean, black wood that's that thick and that square, that kind of thing. He had piles of it, and he said, "I'll sell you those. I'll give you a good deal on those." And I said, "Oh, what's that pile?" "I'll take $3,200 for it." Well, I don't have that much on me. But as we were moving lathe out, every once in a while he'd find a piece of wood he didn't like or something. So he'd go, "Here, why don't you take this with you?" So the guy's name was Herb. And so myself and Turner that was buying the lathe, we call this Herb wood. So if for some reason you can look at it and say, well, that looks like, I'd like to know, because I really would like to figure out what the wood is. It's an exotic, it's not a North American wood. And the last piece I have here is a red oak barrel that has been drying for 4 or 5 years. And I just, I wanted to have something to try some different finish techniques on, and so I turned this. And I don't know, where's your camera at right now? All these cracks that are in there, I started to think about the sign that you see, fear this. And so I decided I wasn't going to do anything with them. But this primarily has Tom Penninga's finish technique on it. It was done a little differently because I had started earlier, but that's what's on there. So there you go. That's it.
So I didn't realize that I wouldn't get rocks thrown at me if I brought a non-turning project. So I bought one of each. This is a chess pawn for a set that I am currently working on. It's been a long time project, but I use spelted maple, and I like how the pattern shows up when you cut into it. And then this is made of Bulbinga. This is actually the box I gave my wife her engagement ring in. And so it's made in the style of a bandsaw box, but I use a scroll saw on the inside so that there's no seam. And then this is the ring insert is actually balsa covered in velvet. So, thank you.
Nice.
Okay, now if online, if you guys have all got your hands raised, David, you need to spotlight whoever is up first and call them up. I can't
All right,
see.
Alfred, can you unmute yourself and talk about your project?
Hi there. How's everybody doing? Yeah. Am I on? Okay,
Yes.
here we go.
Yes, we can hear you and see you.
Yeah, this is a bowl I just did recently. It's box elder, as you can tell. And what I did, I did a design on it. I burned it. I made a tip, it's like a coil. And I burned the design on it all the way around. And then right on the very edge here, top and bottom, I wire burned that so that there'd be a separation between the wood, gets you a clean cut. And so it's about, I don't know, 17 and a half inches diameter. And it's finished with Mohawk lacquer. So that's all I have today.
And it looks like I'm the other person with a project. I don't know how to spotlight myself. All right, so I have I've done a lot of natural edge bowls over the years. I wanted to try a little different treatment on the foot. So I actually made one without a foot. This is a piece of crotch cherry. I like the way you can see the feather grain continue across the bottom a little better. And it is also quite a bit faster to make it this way than to put the foot on. So I just turned, sanded everything while it was still green, flipped it around, and where I would normally cut the foot, I just made a rounded bottom at that point, let it dry, and then did some additional sanding and put some finish on. It's not quite, I'm not quite done finishing it yet, but it's got a real nice grain pattern to it from the crotch wood. And then the other thing I'm trying differently is actually putting feet on bowls now instead of, the normal rim you'd have at the bottom. So this is a piece of 12-inch walnut. And one thing I found, my first attempt at putting feet on, I put the feet at about 1/3 the diameter of the bowl, like I normally would with a traditional foot, but that seemed way too close together. So I've actually drew out on a piece of paper, tried the design on paper first, and that helped. And this is, I think, closer to being 50% of the diameter where the feet are. But yeah, it turned out pretty nice. But this is much, much more work. I spent more time on the feet than I did on the rest of the bowl put together.
Very nice.
That's it.
Okay, I think that's going to conclude our meeting.